Good morning, everybody. It is 11:08 on Monday morning, June 13th. It is almost impossible for me to believe that we are halfway through June. I actually had a client this morning who wanted to book a session with me, and there we are. Now I've caught up. There we go. Okay. So yeah, no, it's June 13th, and I had a client book a session with me, and she wanted to book a session 3 weeks from now. And I looked at my calendar, and I was like, 3 weeks from now is July 4th, and I was like, how is that possible? Like, it really does feel like time has just sort of speeded up and warped a little, and I don't know what to do with that, but I think we just have to, like everything else, sort of learn to make peace with it as it is because I don't see that we have much of a choice in the matter. So yeah, so it's June 13th and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. And I'm running a few minutes late because I was checking in. I was away all weekend, so I was checking in with my friends and making breakfast and having a client. And I've actually had a really busy morning, even though I was like, I'm going to take it easy Monday. I'm not going to do so much because it was a really busy weekend. And here we are. I just ate breakfast at 11 o'clock in the morning. But that's life. That is what it is. The thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, first of all, I spent the weekend in person teaching, and I had forgotten what it's like to teach in person, and I was like, oh, I do miss this. I really do. I mean, doing stuff online is convenient and it's easy, and I don't think I will ever not teach online. But there's a magic that happens when we were in person. We did stuff that we couldn't do online, and it was really like a powerful thing to have people sit in circle together. Um, and have to deal with shit that came up, right? We had a couple of it's funny, as a staff, we teach at the Reese Thomas Institute, and as a staff, we haven't all been together in just as long. We haven't done anything in person, and some of us get together for pockets or whatever. But as a staff, we hadn't come together since February of 2020. We hadn't been in person. We haven't really done much. We certainly haven't put on a live event in, 3 years. And there was stuff that came up for all of us around that. Like some of us got triggered by things or behavior, or e- e- even something as simple as like who's gonna sit where at dinner sometimes was like upsetting for people. And I can't say that anything I can't say that anything really triggered me yesterday or the weekend. But I did get assigned to being online yesterday afternoon, and I was like, huh, we're in person and yet I'm still teaching online. How funny is that? But I was in such a great space that I didn't necessarily take it so personally. Um, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I was in such a great space. I'm grateful that I was focusing on what was going right. And then that did actually keep me sort of a little bit separate from some of the, you know, challenges that some of the staff was experiencing. Um, but so what I wanted to talk to you today about is triggers. And when I say and again, if you're joining us live, say hi, good morning, how are you? Suzanne, it's so good to see you. And yes, yesterday was beautiful in person. Um, thank you for popping in. Um, if you're triggered, and if you're watching a replay, let me know that too. When you are triggered by someone or something, when you get irritated at someone's behavior, when you have an expectation that someone should do this or should not do this, or what the fuck, or why would they do that, or I would never do that, or whatever, I don't care what it is. But when you have those experiences of being triggered, and it could be triggered by things that are going on politically, things that are going on in the world, things that are going on globally, the pandemic. I don't care which side of the belief system you're on. If you're triggered by the other, if there's finger pointing and they do this, that is always an invitation to look inward. That is always your soul calling you forward to do some real work. It is asking you, it is expressly up for you to feel into that and ask, what's here for me to learn? What is this lesson? What part of me is feeling triggered? Because it's always going to be from some inner child. It's always going to be from a a place of lack and insecurity inside of you. And when I say inner child, I don't necessarily, I mean, almost always it's before 10, or, certainly before, when we're younger, below 18. It's not always true though. When I say inner child, I mean any part of you that's younger than you are right now, even if it was this week. But as adults, when we're getting triggered, it is almost exclusively from something that happened in our childhood or young adulthood, and or teenage years, right? But so when that stuff comes up, it's coming up because of the infinite kindness of the universe asking you, are you ready to let this go yet? Are you ready to stop giving your power to this situation? Because the only way we can ever really truly choose fierce happiness is by letting go. I say this all the time, but letting go of nothing has ever happened to you. Nothing has ever happened to you. Big T traumas, little T traumas. And when I say big T traumas are the things that we typically think of as trauma. Abuse, assault, violations of any kind, right? Those are big T traumas. And we have systems, and we work on, and we do healing, and the big T traumas, and we have therapists, and you know that's big T trauma. Little T trauma is any time that you weren't actually allowed to be who you are. Any time that you weren't allowed to feel what you felt, or be who you are, or experience what you experienced, or be your yourself in any way, that creates a trauma, because that creates a situation where, especially as little kids, you think there's something wrong with you for being that way. And we make these decisions. Well, I'm never going to do that again because clearly that's wrong. But that's a whole part of you. And this is how the shadow gets born. This is why I do the work I do. This is why so much of my work is inner child and shadow work. I mean, I call myself a happiness coach, but I call myself a happiness coach because people aren't going to buy or spend money. People say, "Oh, I want more happiness." That's awesome. I call this group Fierce Happy Women, right? But the work I do is shadow and inner child, and like, let's excavate the bullshit that's holding you back. But if I said I was a shadow coach or an inner child coach, people would be like, "Oh, inner child stuff, shadow work, that's really scary." It's not. It's just understanding what makes you you, and how you operate, and why you tick the way you tick, and how awesome that is, right? So when you're triggered, it's coming up because something in you is feeling that same sensation of not being good enough, not being too much, or too not, or too nice, or not enough, or too creative, or too happy, or too sensitive, or too emotional, or whatever the two was, or not being enough of something, or just whatever it was, whatever programming we got that said who we are isn't okay. When we get triggered, it's bringing that up again. And it's bringing it up again expressly so that you can heal it, expressly so that you can sit with those parts of yourselves that you dislike, or that you have put away, or have pretended don't exist, or have tried really, really, really hard to ignore and not be and do what you're supposed to do. And when there's enough of you that you can't be because it's in the shadow, it's in the closet, you've got so much of your energy holding a door shut, it's like you don't actually get to really truly experience life because you're always sort of just trying to like put one more finger in the dam. After a while, you run out of fingers and toes, and you can only hold back that flood for so long. And so stuff comes up always. Stuff comes always for us, just so that we can be so stuff. Being in person for the first time in 3 years was incredible for us. And also, there was some painful things. There was some stuff that came up. There was some stuff that I was like, Are you fucking kidding me?" Right? And it was mine to own. It was mine to deal with, just like it was everybody else's to deal with, right? And if there's something that bothers you, it's yours to heal. And how do we do that? Well, how do we do that is by doing the first of all, by allowing your feelings, allow yourself to feel your feelings. Feel them. Bring them in. Bring it into your heart. And then you ask yourself, well, what is this a familiar feeling? And almost always it's going to be a familiar feeling. Is this something I remember? When is the first time, or when is a time in my past that I remember feeling this feeling? And then you sit with that part of you. And I don't care if it's 47 or 22 or 6. You sit with that part of you and you listen with your heart. And you ask that part of you, what do you need to feel safe right now? What do you need to feel whole? What is here that's bothering you, that's upsetting you? And listen. Again, you listen. You ask the question, and then you allow the answer in. And if you dismiss it as if you're just making it up or whatever, if you judge it in any way, that shuts it down again, right? And we've shut it down, some of us for 40, 50, 60 years. Some of us are doing this work early and they've only shut it down for 30 years. And my hat is off to you guys because you have way less shit to unpack. But so if you shut it down, you're just re-traumatizing. It's just another reminder of the little T traumas, which can be more insidious because it's ingrained, right? You're just perpetuating the little T trauma. This thing happened at some point in your life. Big things, little things, they happened. They were events. They were entry points for your soul. They were contracts even sometimes. Most times. The big T traumas, almost always are contracts. Your soul decided it needed to learn this lesson in this lifetime. And the universe and God in her infinite wisdom complied with infinite compassion and love and gentleness, because nothing like at the soul plane, you've never been anything but love. We only are love, and that's what we come from. It's what we return to. And our job is to just do what we can in this lifetime to ask, how is this serving me? What is this here for me? Right? Carolyn Mace calls it spiritual stamina. We get challenged because it's building up spiritual stamina. And when we can let go of the things that should never have happened to us or should never have happened in the world, when we can let go of that, we let go of what she calls spiritual weight. So that because our soul has never been hurt, it's never been injured, it's never been wounded. And so in those moments when we're challenged, we can actually be grateful for the experience because it means we're leveling up. And right now, humanity is leveling up. So it's super fucking uncomfortable in the world right now. Expressly so that we can do our work. Humanity is in a big, huge, dark night of its soul. And the only way out is through. And so when you find yourself triggered, upset, pissed off, irritated, annoyed, frustrated, whatever you find yourself, sit with yourself, sit with that part of you and listen to what you have to say. Because at some point someone didn't listen. Someone didn't show up. Someone didn't be what you needed them to be. And so you now it can go back in time and you can be the person that you needed. I say all the time that we are the ones we've been waiting for. And what I mean by that is, and I actually am, the more I study, the more I listen, the more I do this work, the more I kind of believe this is true, that in the moments when we had trauma, big T or little t, it was our soul and God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, carrying us through. But the way we do it is because we're doing work now and going backwards in time to heal. Because there's no time, there's no space, there's no distance. It's all the same. It's all at the quantum level. There's no this. It's all the same, right? So we can do something now, and it will take effect from before, and it will carry forward. So it's like as we do our work now, right now in real time, we're healing forwards, backwards, and forwards because we're the ones we've been waiting for. And when I say we're out of time, we have to do the work, we have to we have to heal. I mean it because we're at the tipping point with humanity. And we really do have an obligation to go back and help that past part of ourselves not be screaming and crying out for love and affection and to be seen and to be heard and to be validated. And when we can do that, when we can all get into real time, that is how we move forward. But we can't go forward until we get in real time. And that's so bless the triggers. Be grateful for them. Really truly sit with how you feel because that is the entry point. That is the entry point. That is the healing that happens. And it doesn't take a ton of time or effort. It takes some discipline, it takes some courage. It takes our willingness to be uncomfortable. It takes our willingness to forgive. But we can do that if we put our mind to it. It doesn't take a long time to do. So anyway, that's what I got for today. And if this resonates with you, happy Monday, Sue. If this resonates with you in any way, please let me know. If you're pissed off, absolutely let me know. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue. If you don't know how to do this, this is the work I do. I would love more than anything to have these conversations with you, to like I'm come on board with me as a client. Let's do some healing work. Do the 4 weeks to fierce happiness because this is what we do in that 4 weeks to fierce happiness. We meet twice a week and we do this exact thing. We do a regression healing and then we do a laser session coaching around it. Twice a week for 4 weeks. It's powerful stuff. If you want to do a longer term thing, come work with me one on one. I am already starting to get people interested in signing up for the chakras of happiness, which will start in October, and we'll go October to probably June again, and we'll do each chakra, right? Well, what does your chakra look like? What is your first chakra? What are the rules and vows around tribe and family and body? What are the rules around emotions and passion in second chakra? What are the rules around how you show up in the world in third chakra? What are the rules around how you love in your fourth chakra? What are the rules about how you speak in your fifth chakra? And then unpack the shit that they told you so that you get to actually be who you are. If you don't want to wait till the fall, I'm going to have a chakras 101 masterclass on. It'll be Wednesday, July 27th from 7 to probably from 6 to 9, to be honest with you. If I can get us out earlier, we will. But July 27th, Chakras 101. I will be posting an event pretty quickly about that. I have so I think I'm going to do, I've tried really, really, really hard to have a solstice celebration in person on Saturday, but the fates have just conspired to not have that happen. So I'm going to actually do online on Friday night. I'm going to do a solstice celebration, um, and I will post that event shortly. Um, but I have a whole bunch of stuff. I have a lot of things coming up. I probably am going to do. Um, I probably will do. I was thinking about doing a mini shadow course this summer if I can generate enough interest, like a 4 week kind of mini shadow course as a like a taste of what we kind of do in the chakras of happiness. And Sue, yes, thank you for saying that. I think the chakras of happiness is a fantastic class. I think it's really powerful. So thank you for corroborating. And the work that these women have done since October to now, some of them are unrecognizable. It's really amazing. So anyway, I'm saying all of this to say I can help you with this. If you're triggered in any way, it's time for you to do your work, and I 100% want to be a part of your journey. If you want to share this, if you want to invite people to this group, if you want to get my email, let me. If you haven't got my newsletter, let me know. I will put you on my email list, and just keep doing the work and keep showing up and keep being grateful, even in the face of triggers. I love you all. Happy Monday.